Hello my beautiful friend and welcome back to another video. So I know, I'm a little late again, but as always, Wednesdays is trading card game training day because there is a tournament in about 3 weeks and I have to get ready for that one. Despite losing everything today. But yeah, let's dive into the article today. As you can see, this is an article by Video Games Chronicle, and it's been written by Andy Robinson. So, Devil May Cry Dragon's Dogma director Hideaki Itsuno explains why he left Capcom and what's next. You might know me, but I like Capcom games, especially Devil May Cry, from the both of the games that are being named here. But yeah, Itsuno-san discusses Lightspeed Studios and its plans for a AAA action game. That sounds interesting. So, when it comes to blockbuster video games, Capcom is the modern gold standard. Oh, yeah, kinda. Over the past 7 years, the Resident Evil and Monster Hunter firm has produced hit after hit at a seemingly impossible pace, regularly appearing in the Game of the Year lists and with annual profits to match. I mean, Monster Hunter? No, Monster Hunter Wilds? That one is a difficult pill to swallow, but yeah. There are a multitude of reasons for the company's ongoing purple patch, not least that it boasts one of the most enviable war chests of franchises of any game company. That is true. But it's that last bit that indirectly persuaded one of its most experienced directors to quit last year. It has been already a year. Damn, okay. Because when you're on such a strong role revitalizing classic IPs like Street Fighter, Onimusha and Devil May Cry, thank you, Capcom. There is understandably little incentive to assign your most experienced creators to original IP built from scratch. Understandable, but also I totally understand why Itsuno-san left. With 2012's Dragon's Dogma, Hideaki Itsuno created one of Capcom's last wholly original AAA single-player franchises. Arguably, the next didn't arrive until last year's Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, which apparently is a great game. It's on my Steam wishlist, I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. And next year we have Pragmata, another game that I'm really interested in. I'm so looking forward for that one. A 30-year company veteran, Itsuno is best known as the director behind the last 3 Devil May Cry games, both Dragon Dogma titles and classic fighting games such as Power Stone, Rival Schools and Capcom vs. SNK. All of them great fighting games. I really like them. Lightspeed Studios, Lightspeed Japan. Oh, okay, this is the new logo for them. Lightspeed Studios Japan has opened an Osaka office. Okay. It came as a surprise then that the celebrated designer opted to end his time at the company last year, following the release of another title from the Capcom hit Conveyor Belt, the RPG sequel Dragon's Dogma 2, which also had its issues with performance. Like Monster Hunter Wilds, it's a semi-open world game, or rather open world game, I don't know. And the RE engine, as much as I like it, I've talked many a video about that one, it has its issues as soon as it's not a linear path. But that will hopefully be better in the future. However, approaching his mid-50s, Itsuno contemplated his future and decided he wanted to spend the remaining years of his career creating something new, rather than more sequels to franchises he felt he'd perfected. Totally understandable. For me, based on my age, this is my last chance. Wait, how old is he? We will look... Wait, you know what? I'm going to look right now. How old is he? Hideaki Itsuno. And he is... Where is his age? He's 54. That's not that old. I mean, he's healthy, I guess. But 54 is not that old. But yeah, mid-50s. Okay. Itsuno told VGC during a recent visit to his new studio, Lightspeed Japan, where he was given the opportunity to build an entirely new team and project by owner Tencent. Okay. Tencent stocks buy now, maybe? The game industry has decreased the number of AAA releases, and it was asked to create a new AAA. I'm not young anymore, so more than now it's the right moment, it's more like this is my last chance to challenge myself. I don't think so. I think he has a lot more in his future of new AAA games. He continued, for Capcom, creating Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma sequels is the top priority. Totally understandable. And keeping in mind that making a game takes 4 or 5 years, this might be my last big opportunity. He's really on this last big thing. Is he healthy? Do we have to get scared? Before you realize you are working on making Devil May Cry 6 or 7. It's not like I don't want to make them, I do, but it's hard to balance the time it takes with the personal satisfaction of making them, and with Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2, I already did what I wanted to make. That is also totally understandable, so I really like that both sides have their own reasons to do things, and apparently it looks like they're not separating on evil terms, bad terms. Itsuno is now leading the Japanese arm of Tencent's Lightspeed Studios, where his new team is building a AAA action game. I'm really excited for that one. On Tuesday, Lightspeed announced the opening of a second Japanese studio in Osaka, the hometown of Capcom, and the hiring of several other Devil May Cry and Street Fighter veterans. Oh, what a coincidence! Also, when you are in the hometown of Capcom and you have a 30-year veteran of Capcom leaving, he will probably take some people with him. And it's not like, though, you don't have to move. The new office is also in Osaka. Just come to us. Just come to us. It's just a couple of blocks down the road. That's what it feels like to me. Also, Capcom is... Did they already finish the new building? They are making a whole new building just for the dev teams to pump out more games. And it's not just Devil May Cry, Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter, and so on. Of course, there are the games like that, like Resident Evil, Onimusha now, thank God it's not a Souls-like. And they're going to make, apparently, more and more other games as well, like Kunitsugami, Okami 2 is on its way. Let's just hope Beautiful Joe 2 is on its way as well. But yeah, they're going to branch out into more other experimental type games, like Exo Primal. If I had a team to play that game, I would have played so much of it. But not right now, because it's not that lively. Let's just call it like that. But yeah, speaking to VGC at Lightspeed Osaka ahead of the news, Itsuno said that around a third of the studio's some 40 employees had come from Capcom. What a surprise! And that he believed his first title at the new company would benefit from their shared experience. Definitely. Very few studios in Japan are taking on the challenge of building original AAA IP from scratch. That's exactly what we're doing, he said. So he's leaving because Capcom is doing some experimental things, but not with him, which is totally understandable. Read on for our full interview. Okay, yeah. Okay. How long is the interview? Holy damn. It's a lot. Hideaki Itsuno, Center and Lightspeed Studio Japan members. Okay, interesting. Most companies seem to be avoiding the AAA space right now due to market volatility. So what makes you confident that you can build a successful original IP in that space? Because he probably can. The goal of this studio is to create a game, an IP for consoles. Okay. So I'm not selling my PS5. I believe that unless you make a game at a AAA quality level, it doesn't become even an option for the users. What? But what about all the indie titles and Expedition 33, and there are a lot of games that are not AAA and are doing well. Uh, but yeah, after gathering a lot of information, I thought about creating a game with a AAA quality that becomes the first choice for players. Even within the AAA games, there are several budget sizes though. So I'm taking the challenge of creating one that doesn't need a huge budget to develop, which I'm standing all behind that one. So even though you refer to the project as AAA, it sounds like you've been sensible in terms of budget and the scale of the team. My style of making games is first of all to release the game. Oh, that is awesome. We have a plan and we try not to go over the budget. Normally, if you have a huge budget, the release gets delayed. It's better to work with just the right amount of budget in my experience. Okay, I have no idea about that one, because the game my friend and I are developing is at a snail's pace and we don't have a budget. It's just time. Is making games more efficiently a key differentiator in what we're seeing currently in terms of the struggles of AAA Western publishers compared to Japanese companies like Capcom and Sega, which seems to get games out much faster and cheaper? That is a fantastic question. Holy damn. As a director, releasing the game is the most important thing. In order to do that, you need to control the deadlines and budget for the company that is investing the money. If you don't align properly, you get delays. Of course. An increase in budget, lower quality than expected, and then you have to increase the costs to reach the desirable quality. More than Capcom, it's the development team that balances and controls that. I really like that. These questions, as of right now, are great. So you've announced a new Osaka studio to complement your existing Tokyo branch. Osaka is also the home of your previous employer, Capcom. Why is Osaka a great place to make games? Because we can take the Capcom people and just get them to us. That's a hard question. In my opinion, Tokyo, Osaka, or even San Francisco, the place isn't important. In my case, I have many connections in Tokyo and Osaka to create the core team with experience in AAA games. Also, I can go to the office from home. So he just wants to walk there. At GDC, great, Games Developer Conference, really like that. You said you're making a Japanese-style action game. What defines a Japanese-style action game? Dude, these questions, again, these are fantastic. This is not a game with samurai and so forth. When I talk about Japanese style, I mean like the type of action games I made at Capcom. Strong animation, character design, creativity, a high skill ceiling, oh thank you, and a variety of action are the focus of the game. So I hope that players who love action games love this game too. Dude, I haven't seen anything of the game, but I'm already... Just give it to me. Take my money. You mentioned 3 key hires in your announcement today. Did he? Devil May Cry writer Toshihiro Nakagawa, aka Bingo Morihashi, DMC and Street Fighter character designer Daigo Ikeno, oh what? And veteran Capcom illustrator Bengus. What? Marvel vs. No, what was... Wait, this is too much for my brain. Was Bengus the one who made Marvel vs. Capcom illustrations? Was that the one? I forgot. But damn! This is going to be an awesome looking game. Although we're a new studio working on a new game. It's good to be able to work with people whom I trust, like Mr. Nakagawa. I've been working with him for decades, since Devil May Cry 2. And then Devil May Cry 3 because he had to apologize for Devil May Cry 2. And he's one of those core members who understands me very well. He worked as a freelance scenario writer, and he came when I called him. That is nice. That's so sweet. If we mix my taste and his taste, I believe we can make a great game together. Ikeno-san is also participating as a director this time, and Bengus-san has a very high level of understanding and his very unique man. He is a very unique man. He was a legendary designer at Capcom. That he was. Lightspeed Japan has around 40 staff across Tokyo and Osaka. Dude, this is just Expedition 33 again, but with more well-known people around the game. This is going to be incredible. It's all about a sense of trust, which it definitely is. Also, again, the Expedition 33 story. A team that trusts each other. We know exactly what each of us wants, and it's not just these three people. I also hired some other people I worked with from before at Capcom. So even though this is a new studio, I've gathered those people who I trust to make sure this is going to be a successful game. Just give it to me in my veins. Another action game by the man. 1/3 of the team is made up of people I previously worked with. The new team members are also great, as well as the members who already were at Lightspeed Studio that are all great. I've gathered a team where everybody is great. This sounds so awesome. It's been 6 years since you released your last character action game, Devil May Cry 5. Now that you're returning to the genre, have you taken any learning from action games released since then? After Devil May Cry 5, many single-player games were released, leaving aside whether they were a hit or not. I don't have any particular thoughts about the games of that same style. There were many games with a style between Dark Souls and Devil May Cry, but there was nothing too surprising. I got more impacted by games outside of that range, like the recent Indiana Jones game. That is interesting. Also, Indiana Jones, I still have to play that one, but I'm not going to buy it for that price. No, I'm not going to get Game Pass. It seems like increasingly every action game is a Souls-like. Yes, and I don't like that. Are you aware of any oversaturation in the genre? And is that something that puts you off entering it? Dude, again, great questions. This is awesome. I didn't create a company to make a high-end version of existing games with a similar gameplay, story and character design. I came to Lightspeed Studio to create an action game with a different value gameplay than the existing ones. I appreciate their contribution, but I'm not going to create the same thing. Holy damn, I love this so much. I need coffee. And now it starts raining. Good timing for the cozy moment of the interview. So, this is the first time you've held an interview since leaving Capcom. So why did you decide it was the right time to leave after 30 years? Dude, the questions! I'm sorry that I say it again and again, but this interview is freaking fantastic. For me, based on my age, this is my last chance. Again, the last chance. Why is it his last chance? The gaming industry has decreased the number of AAA releases, and I was asked to create a new AAA by Lightspeed. I'm not young anymore, so more than now, it's the right moment. It's more like this is my last chance to challenge myself. For Capcom, creating Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma sequels is always going to be top priority. And keeping in mind that making a game takes 4 to 5 years, this might be my last big opportunity. He's so fixated on that. So basically, you didn't want to spend your remaining years making Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma. Yes, that's it. Before you realized you are working on making the Devil May Cry 6 or 7, it's not like I don't want to make them. I do. That's awesome. But it's hard to balance the time it takes with personal satisfaction of making them, and with Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2, I already did what I wanted to make. Okay, we had that at the beginning of the interview. At which point exactly did you decide you wanted to leave Capcom? I had held several talks while I was working on Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh, so it's been a while. But at that time, I didn't even think of leaving while making the game. I wanted to finish it, and after release, there still was some work to do. So I decided to go to the new studio once I was done with all of that. That is a man of honor. Holy damn, man. From left, Bingo Morihashi, Hideaki Itsuno, and Daigo Ikeno. Nice. Okay, we're almost through with the article. How do you reflect on Dragon's Dogma 2? Critically, it was very well received, but there were divisive reactions from some fans. Dude, if it sells at this level, all good. Meaning that if the game was loved by so many, it's all good. I made the game not like a Nintendo one to be liked by all the people, but for a certain type of audience. So it's normal if some people outside their target audience don't like the game. Awesome. However, people who enjoyed the game really loved it, appreciated the details and work. I'm very proud of it. So he's not saying something about the performance issues. But yeah, Sega president Shuji Izumi recently credited the company's modern success to taking a global first approach to game creation. Oh, okay, did he? How are you approaching the game creation at Lightspeed? Are you targeting a particular audience like with Dragon's Dogma or aiming more broadly? Well, he basically already talked about it, that's a particular audience. When I talk about the audience, I don't talk about country, nationality, genre, or so forth, but people who enjoy that playstyle. Oh, I love him so much. Capcom is a company that has targeted worldwide since the beginning with Street Fighter and other games. It becomes natural to target worldwide. Yes, it does. The thoughts of let's create a game that hits worldwide is already intrinsic. Well, with the exception of Rival School. I can't remember why that one was. But yeah, there are many ways a game can be fun to play. For action games, it's more universal. I keep in mind to create scenarios and characters not to be hated by a specific region. That's what Sega is doing right now, for example. Oh no, what happened there? I don't know. But it's also what Capcom and my team has been doing since the beginning, which is also true. I can't remember that there was a character that anyone hated. But yeah, would you like to work on another fighting game or RPG in the future? For example, you have said in the past that you'd like to make another Capcom versus SNK. I do want to make a fighting game like Capcom versus SNK. Nice. But now I'm neither Capcom nor SNK. If they license it to me though, I want to make Capcom vs SNK 3. Hell yeah, please license it to him. I want to make a fighting game and it's the top of my list of games I want to make. Yes! I do want to make an RPG too, but I just made one, so it's not like I want to make one right now. Maybe after some time. Oh, this is awesome. Dude, how? Oh, okay, we're at the end. Capcom is enjoying one of the most successful periods in its history, but do you think it could become a victim of its success if, like you, it doesn't give its experienced creators more freedom to create wholly original games? That's a tough question, which it is. In my case, I'm 55 years old. Did Google lie to me with 54? And I happen to get this opportunity. For young people, working on a sequel is a great experience. They can learn a lot and use in creating the next game. The people working on the sequels right now are extremely good, so the young people can learn from them. That is also true. You're creating an original action game, and presumably Capcom will continue the Devil May Cry series. Would it be strange competing with that? Oh, dude. I'm extremely proud of Devil May Cry 5, which is an awesome game. And I don't think I can improve on it. So competing with the new IPs, it's going to be hard. But at the same time, after making DMC4, I thought it was going to be impossible to create something better, and I think I managed it, which he did. It was the same with Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought it was going to be impossible to make something better than the first one, so who knows? Dude, I love him so much. Did you leave any advice for the Devil May Cry team when you left? Officially, I didn't give any, but at a personal level, I wished good luck in person to the members I know. I still go drinking with some of them, so it's going to be awesome. In a twist of fate, I'm interviewing the original Devil May Cry director, Hideki Kamiya, later today. He mentioned during a recent panel that you started socializing for the first time since leaving your respective companies. Do you think you could collaborate in the future? Dude, with Hideki Kamiya coming back to Capcom... Wait, before I get it wrong, I think he did come back. Hideki Kamiya back at Capcom. Wait, it was. Yes, 8 months ago. Yes. I was right with that one. But him leaving Capcom, oh man. So, two directors working together are going to fight for sure. It sounds fun, but we would be getting into fights. We are of the same generation, and it sounds fun, but it wouldn't work. That is a mature way to say it. More than working together, maybe I could be in charge of a part and he could be in charge of another one. But it'd be complicated. We have different styles. I'm strict, but he also is he. What? I'm strict, but he is. What? A typo. In a different way. It'd be tough. Do you have any questions for Kamiya-san? Please tell him not to release the game at the same time as ours. We started development at the same time, so I'd like him to have at least 3 months between the release time. I have no problem with the announcement date, but let's avoid overlapping on the screening period for Game of the Year. That is awesome. I love this so much. This was a very long article. I'm really sorry about that. I did not expect this. But incredibly fantastic interview. I really loved it. I'm going to end this right here. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I'm keen to know what you have to say. And while you're here, please remember to do all the things that make the dings, and by that I of course mean like and subscribe, and if you want you can share this video with your friends. Why? Because that way we can talk more video game news basically every day. And yeah, have a great day my friend, stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.